Oh my god, guys, Bob Iger is back and he's going to save Disney. Take a look at this. He says sorry for the battle against Florida, calls on employees to respect the audience. Guess what, guys? Disney is back. Don't pay attention to those flops that were Strange Worlds or how Wakanda Forever is totally underperforming everywhere. Okay, all of those were greenlit under his previous regime, but no, it was Bob Chapek. Okay, well, no, he didn't deliver on his promises. Okay, he was going to be the anti-woke champion, and no, all along the guy who lit the fire on this SJW slant for Disney, he's come in and he's singing a different fucking tune. Sure thing. You know what this is, even before we start to read all of these comments, and he's been making quite a few of them, okay? This is because, okay, there was a tax status agreement between the state of Florida and Disney, and yeah, he'd like to recoup some of those losses because Disney is holding a couple fucking L's right now. Bob Iger, the savior of Disney, or more or less the motherfucker who's going to try to steer the Apple merger in probably a couple of years. You just wait for that. I got nothing concrete on that one, but Disney is hemorrhaging money quicker than the federal government sends it to Ukraine. They lost a $200 million on Lightyear. More than likely going to end up losing 150, just about $200 million on Strange Worlds. Chris Hemsworth doesn't want to come back as Thor because he can't stand the fucking directors or the direction of his character. Everything woke turns to shit. And now they're trying to backtrack. Ain't fucking happening. Iger, yes, recently returned CEO, said he feels sorry to see the entertainment giant getting dragged into a battle with the Florida lawmakers over the ban on sex and gender discussions in early elementary classrooms. Yeah, because Chapek, the former Bob CEO who's there, his initial take on that whole "don't say gay" Florida bill, the parental rights and education bill from the state of Florida that has in the 7 pages, the very long read of the bill, says nothing about gays at all whatsoever. Just don't talk about sexual content to kids aged 5 to 8, kindergarten through the 3rd grade. Just don't do that stuff or have any conversations that are age inappropriate. Pretty fucking simple. How about that? But no. That just means you're denying the existence of trans and gay people. And it's like, just fuck off. What does that ultimately, what does that have to do with Disney? Well, the activist class that Bob Iger was all too willing to employ and staff at the House of Mouse decided that it wasn't enough to just stay out of that Disney had to come out and take a hard alphabet mafia stance. And then Iger, went above and beyond capitulating to that fucking crowd, and, well, he's gone now. That's why you never give those fuckers an inch. You hold your ground firm. Florida law, in response to parents' complaints that children as young as 5 are being taught about homosexuality, transgenderism, and other matters related to sex and gender, prohibits public school teachers from discussing those topics with students in kindergarten through the 3rd grade. Disney didn't immediately join other major corporations in condemning what progressives cited as the "don't say hey" bill, which became law in March. However, the group of vocal activist employees criticized the company for not publicly taking a position. Both Iger and his successor, Bob Chapek, spoke out in opposition to the measure. Yeah, it's funny. Iger says, he feels sorry that the way that the entertainment giant in Florida ended up going to battle, but he was still vocal in his support of the way that Disney was handling it. Kind of fucking weird, huh? He noticed that, his hand-picked fold guy, his successor and predecessor at the same time, he was both parts complimentary and critical of the way that he did it. But that's all in hindsight, right? Yeah, we'll let bygones be bygones. Give us back our tax-exempt status, okay? 8 months later, Iger appears to have regretted the company's involvement in the fight with Florida. In a series of video clips obtained and shared by independent journalist Chris DeRufo, I've seen these ones. At least some of them pop up, and yeah, it's interesting. Iger spoke at a town hall meeting and took questions from employees when he was asked about a stance on the Florida law. Iger replied that while the company still pushes a pro-LGBT inclusion message, I thought he was supposed to. It's actually not good. Iger's not going to change anything. Okay, a company that is losing traction literally everywhere. Yeah, they're just going to continue to double down on this stuff. We'll get back to the Epoch Times article here quickly, but Iger may want to say that he's back at the helm of the Disney Corporation. But if anyone thought his return would mark a company shift away from divisive identity politics, you'd be retarded, because he was the guy who introduced all this stuff. They would be sadly mistaken. All right. A stunning turn of events last week was Walt Disney Corporation announced that effective immediately, Bob Iger would take back his old role, replace Bob Chapek. Apparently he was, because this was in the middle of the night when he was given the news. He was apparently at an Elton John concert, and it's like, wow, that sucks. The board has concluded that Disney embarks on an increasingly complex period in industry transformation. Iger is uniquely situated to lead the company through this pivotal period, which many speculate could be an acquisition, which would be fucking wild. We thank Chapek for his, thank you for your service, Disney, over his long career, including navigating the company through the blah, blah, blah. With his return, everyone in the company's employees, to its critics alike, have been eager to know Iger's plans for Disney's creative direction. It's like, bro, just take a look at what they were doing in the past, and everything over the past couple of years that Chapek was overseeing was greenlit and said to be good to go by Iger beforehand. You won't see any of the Chapek projects, okay, at least for another year or so before they start to go to production. So it's real funny, man. During the internal Q&A held between himself and Disney employees on November 28th, CEO confirmed that diversity, inclusion, and LGBTQ content are here to stay. That's adorable. And there's, some of the Rufo tweets right there. Iger would address the topic in reply to a number of questions submitted to him by his employees. As seen on the video obtained by Chris Rufo, the CEO of the would offer his thoughts on the subject when asked whether or not Disney would stay out of making political statements under his tenure. No. I think there's a misperception about what politics is. Oh, yeah, this was a treat. I think that some of the subjects that have been proven to be controversial as it relates to Disney have been branded political. And I don't necessarily believe they are. Well, this is the same group that also thinks that everything is political, but you aren't naming anything in particular, okay? And what the message and the underlying tone of everything Disney that has been outed by other executives that are still there to everybody's knowledge right now. Half of the new characters and half of the content that's going to be coming out is going to be exclusively on the gender spectrum in some form or fashion. And how well is that working out for everybody? I don't think that when you are telling stories and attempting to be a good citizen of the world, fucking globalist, that's political. What? You're already making a statement right there, okay? Citizen of the world, and you're not just telling stories. You're pushing a fucking agenda. Everybody can see it, and that's why they're tuning the fuck out. You like the company being embroiled in controversy? He has asked rhetorically of the crowd. Of course not. It can be distracting, and it can have a negative impact on the company. I think to the extent I can work to quiet things down, I'm going to do that. Bro, you were integral of kicking all of this stuff off to begin with, so I don't fucking believe you for one goddamn second. But yes, picking up on that point, delicate balance. When you tell stories, there's delicate balance. Oh, when you're talking to an audience, important to listen to an audience. It's important to have respect for the people you are serving and that you are trying to reach and not have disdain for. How many Disney releases out there have locked reviews, came out and said that, the audience is just clearly racist, you guys don't like black people in Star Wars, guys are just bigots, you're simply attacking an Asian actress, that's the reason why you don't like The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Last Jedi, and it's the Disney property. You don't like them, and then you're all hating on them. We listen to our audience. Sure you do. Another question concerning Florida government's move to strip Disney of its self-governance status, a privilege the company has enjoyed since the time of Walt Disney. Losing such a privilege means that Disney can no longer control its own zoning, infrastructure, and policing within its special tax district in Orlando. That was a big fucking L that ended up getting handed to them, and that was a result of Ron DeSantis's ironclad frame not bending, not breaking, not moving to one of the most important partners of Florida, the state of Florida, the economy of Florida, because Disney World is big fucking business. But DeSantis was like, no, I actually listen to the people that are out there, and they want this bill. They're totally fine with it. Disney, you can go get fucked. And oh, by the way, I think it's called Reedy Creek is the area that's under Disney World. By the way, that special status that you guys have, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that and make sure that you guys get to play by the rules out there. You know, we're all about inclusion over here. Actually, we're more or less about equity. We think that everybody should pay their fair share, starting with you fuckers. I've not gotten up to speed on that completely. Obviously, I followed the news. I learned about it like everybody else out there. I learned about us losing the special tax status in the news, like everybody else. That development occurred after I left the company. Bro, you were still right there, okay? You were taking questions and giving responses about, you know, the backlash to the bill to begin with. So let's just fucking stop it. You knew exactly what was happening, okay? Because sources also say that you were still very active in the company, even though you didn't have the title. You were still acting like it. I was sorry to see us dragged into that battle. I have no idea what the ramifications are in terms of business itself. It's bad. Is bad. It's not good. That I can say is the state of Florida has been important to us for a long time. Yeah, because Disney World is fucking big and there's nowhere to move it that you'll get that type of treatment. What I can say is that the state of Florida has been important, yes, to us for a long time. I think I already read that, but whatever. And we have been very important to the state of Florida. That's why it was so funny not to see a politician buckle. At least that's what Disney was thinking. It's like, we make them so much money. We could, oh, wait, they act, oh, fuck, no. Iger served as Disney CEO for 15 years from 2005 to 20. Very early, before everything started to lock down. It's almost like somebody got a memo that some weird shit was going to end up happening. Oopsie fucking daisy. And then he just decided, we don't want to change all of the signage because I know I'm going to be coming back in a couple of years' time. So, do we got another Bob? Chapek, there you go. This is your office now. Bye. See you all later. But he oversaw the company during the pandemic that triggered worldwide shutdowns of theme parks, resorts, movie theaters, and live sports events. Yep, and when the theme parks needed to come back and get their footing, well, you lost your tax status on fucking Disney World. Big goddamn oof. But yeah, man, if you were anticipating any changes from Disney, if you thought that they would course correct, realizing that they're losing more money than Hunter Biden at the Chateau Marmont for the weekend, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's a big fucking shame because, yeah, everybody growing up, you knew whenever a Disney movie was coming out, okay? You knew when a Pixar movie was coming out, and you knew that it was going to be quality. Now, whenever you hear Disney's coming out with something, you just kind of grit your teeth, take a look at it, and wonder who's gay in it. Or whenever you hear, oh, yeah, we're going to be readapting. Oh, we're just going to make a live-action adaptation of one of your old favorites and then just update it for a modern audience. And you just brace for fucking impact. Or you act like most people that are out there right now, just take a look at it and go next and wait for something better to come along. Because guess what? All of the creatives that used to be in those places, they're starting to leave, make their own stuff, and leave these old corporations in the fucking dust. You'll love to see it. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.